Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to reflect on a powerful theme that resonates through the ages: the fight for freedom. This is not just a historical account, it is a call to action, a reminder that freedom is not a privilege, but a fundamental right that demands our unwavering commitment. Throughout history, we have witnessed countless individuals and movements rise up against oppression. From the civil rights movement to the struggle for independence in various nations, brave souls have fought valiantly to dismantle chains that bind us. These heroes have taught us that freedom often comes at a steep price. They faced adversity with courage and tenacity, igniting a flame of hope that continues to burn brightly today. But let us not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that the responsibility to fight for freedom lies within each of us. It is not enough to admire the sacrifices of those who came before us. We must also recognize our own power to effect change. Every voice matters and every action counts. Stand up against injustice in your community, advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves, and be the change you wish to see in the world. Each small step taken in the name of freedom contributes to the larger march toward justice. Unity is a force that can't be underestimated in this fight. Freedom is not solely an individual pursuit, it thrives in solidarity. When we come together, we amplify our voices, strengthen our resolve, and create an unbreakable bond in the face of adversity. Remember, no one is free until we are all free. We must embrace our differences, for it is our diversity that enriches our struggle and drives us toward a common goal. However, let us not become complacent. The fight for freedom is a continuous battle that demands our vigilance. History has shown us that freedom can be fragile, and that rights once secured can be eroded if we are not watchful. It is our duty to educate ourselves, to stay informed, and to participate actively in the democratic processes that uphold our rights. Challenge the status quo, question injustices, and stand firm in your convictions. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the fight for freedom is a journey that requires courage, action, unity, and vigilance. Let us honor those who have fought before us by continuing the struggle in our own lives. Stand firm, be resolute, and fight for the freedom that is rightfully ours. Together, we can create a future where liberty prevails, where justice is served, and where every individual can live free from fear and oppression. Thank you. The fight for freedom is deeply rooted in human history, woven into the fabric of societies across the globe. To understand its significance, we must explore the historical context that shapes our current understanding of freedom and the struggles that have defined our past. From ancient civilizations to contemporary movements, the quest for liberation has inspired individuals to challenge oppressive systems and seek a more just world. Throughout history, we have witnessed various forms of oppression, whether through colonial rule, authoritarian regimes, or systemic discrimination. Each chapter of this struggle tells a unique story of resilience and determination. In ancient Greece, for instance, the concept of democracy began to take shape, with citizens fighting for their right to participate in governance. This was a radical departure from the norm, as power had typically been concentrated in the hands of a few. The idea that every individual had a voice was revolutionary, paving the way for future generations to continue advocating for their rights. The struggles for freedom were not limited to the Western world. In the 18th and 19th centuries, colonies around the world began to assert their independence from imperial powers. The American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, is a prime example, where colonists fought against British rule, motivated by Enlightenment ideals of liberty and self-governance. This movement inspired other nations, sparking revolutions in France, Latin America, and beyond. Each of these movements carried its own unique context, yet they shared a common thread: the belief that people deserve the right to determine their own destinies. Fast forward to the 20th century, and we see the rise of global movements aimed at dismantling systemic oppression. The civil rights movement in the United States stands out as a pivotal moment in the fight for freedom. Activists like Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X emerged as powerful voices against racial segregation and discrimination. They understood that freedom was not just about personal liberties, it was about the right to live without fear of oppression. the right to access equal opportunities, and the right to be treated with dignity and respect. Through peaceful protests, boycotts, and relentless advocacy, they challenged the status quo, ultimately leading to significant legislative changes that reshaped American society. Internationally, the decolonization movement after World War II marked another monumental shift in the quest for freedom. Colonized nations across Africa, Asia, and the Caribbean fought to break free from the shackles of colonial rule. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi in India and Nelson Mandela in South Africa exemplified the spirit of resistance against oppression. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance proved powerful in challenging British rule, while Mandela's unwavering commitment to justice and equality highlighted the struggles faced by South Africans under apartheid. Their journeys underscore the importance of perseverance in the fight for freedom, demonstrating that even in the face of immense challenges, hope and determination can lead to transformative change. The historical context of the fight for freedom also illuminates the intersectionality of struggles. While different movements may focus on specific issues, be it race, gender, or economic status, they are often interconnected. The fight for women's rights, for example, emerged alongside broader movements for civil rights and social justice. Women have played crucial roles in these struggles, advocating for their rights to vote, work, and live free from violence and discrimination. The suffragette movement, which fought for women's voting rights in the early 20th century, is a testament to the intersection of freedom, equality, and justice. As we examine these historical struggles, we must recognize the ongoing relevance of this fight in our contemporary world. The quest for freedom is far from over. It continues to evolve in response to new challenges. In many regions, oppressive regimes persist, denying individuals their basic rights and freedoms. Movements for LGBTQ rights, environmental justice, and economic equity reflect the ever-changing landscape of the fight for freedom. Each generation inherits the legacy of those who fought before them, charged with the responsibility to continue the struggle. This historical context serves as both a reminder and an inspiration. It reminds us that the fight for freedom is a shared journey, requiring collective action, perseverance, and a commitment to justice. In understanding the sacrifices made by countless individuals throughout history, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for our own roles in advocating for freedom and equality today. By learning from the past, we can chart a path forward, ensuring that the flame of freedom burns brightly for generations to come. The notion of personal responsibility in the fight for freedom is fundamental and often overlooked. While we celebrate the heroes and movements that have come before us, it is crucial to recognize that each of us plays a vital role in advancing the cause of freedom. The idea that change starts at the individual level underscores the notion that we cannot solely rely on others to champion our rights. We must be willing to engage actively in this ongoing struggle. Every individual has the capacity to impact their community and the world at large. The power of one person's voice can resonate far beyond their immediate surroundings, sparking change in ways that are often unforeseen. Throughout history, there are countless examples of individuals who have taken a stand for justice, often at great personal risk. Their stories illustrate how personal commitment can become a catalyst for broader societal change. For instance, consider the role of individuals like Rosa Parks, whose refusal to give up her seat on a bus became a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. Parks' simple act of defiance was a powerful statement against the systemic racism of her time. It ignited a wave of activism that ultimately led to significant changes in the law and attitudes toward race in America. This brings us to the realization that personal responsibility does not exist in isolation. It is often intertwined with collective action. When individuals recognize their ability to make a difference, they inspire others to do the same. This ripple effect can lead to movements that challenge existing norms and advocate for justice. It encourages people to step outside their comfort zones, to engage in conversations that matter, and to take a stand against injustices, no matter how small their actions may seem. Personal responsibility in the fight for freedom requires self-awareness and education. It demands that we take the time to understand the issues at hand, the history that has shaped them, and the ways in which they intersect with our own lives. To fight for freedom effectively, we must acknowledge our privilege, confront our biases, and listen to those whose voices have been marginalized. Engaging with different perspectives fosters empathy and understanding, which are essential in building a united front against oppression. Education plays a critical role in this process. Knowledge is empowering. It equips individuals with the tools necessary to challenge injustice. By educating ourselves about social, political, and economic issues, we become better advocates for change. We learn to question the status quo, to analyze the structures that perpetuate inequality, and to propose solutions that address the root causes of oppression. It is through this lens of understanding that we can articulate our beliefs and mobilize others toward action. Taking personal responsibility also means actively participating in our democratic processes. This includes voting, engaging in community organizing, and advocating for policies that promote freedom and justice. The power of the ballot is profound, yet many individuals remain disengaged from the electoral process, believing that their voices do not matter. However, history shows us that elections can be decided by a remarkably small number of votes. Each vote carries weight and significance. It is a declaration of our values and priorities. By participating in elections and advocating for the issues that matter, we contribute to shaping the future of our communities and our nations. Personal responsibility extends to challenging injustice when we witness it, whether it be in our workplaces, schools, or communities. Silence in the face of oppression perpetuates the very systems we seek to dismantle. Speaking up when we see discrimination, bullying, or any form of injustice is a crucial aspect of fighting for freedom. It requires courage, but it is often those moments of bravery that inspire others to follow suit. In addition to individual actions, personal responsibility entails a commitment to self-improvement and resilience. The journey toward freedom is fraught with challenges, and setbacks are inevitable. To sustain the fight, we must cultivate a mindset of perseverance. This means learning from our failures, remaining open to feedback, and continuously striving to grow as individuals and as advocates for change. In conclusion, the fight for freedom is a collective endeavor that hinges on the personal responsibility of each individual. We must recognize our power to influence change and be willing to take action, no matter how small. By educating ourselves, engaging with our communities, and standing up against injustice, we contribute to a larger movement that transcends individual efforts. The freedom we seek is not just an abstract ideal, it is a living reality that requires our active participation and unwavering commitment. As we embrace our personal responsibility, we not only honor those who fought for our rights in the past, but also pave the way for future generations to live in a world where freedom and justice prevail. Unity and solidarity are cornerstones in the fight for freedom, reinforcing the idea that collective action is essential to achieving lasting change. Throughout history, we have seen that the struggle for freedom is rarely a solitary endeavor. It thrives on the collaboration and cooperation of diverse individuals and groups who come together to advocate for justice. When people unite in a common cause, their collective strength amplifies their voices, making it possible to challenge systems of oppression that may seem insurmountable when faced alone. One of the most compelling examples of this principle in action is the civil rights movement in the United States. This struggle for racial equality was not just about the efforts of prominent leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X. It was a vast network of individuals, families, and communities who banded together to confront the injustices of segregation and discrimination. Grassroots organizations, local churches, and ordinary citizens played crucial roles in organizing protests, boycotts, and sit-ins. Each act of defiance, no matter how small, contributed to a powerful movement that ultimately led to significant legislative changes, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This example illustrates how unity in the face of adversity can create a force that transforms society. The fight for freedom transcends geographic and cultural boundaries. Around the globe, people have come together to resist oppression, whether through movements for independence, gender equality, or LGBTQ rights. In South Africa, the struggle against apartheid was marked by a united front that included individuals from various racial, ethnic, and socio-economic backgrounds. Nelson Mandela's leadership emphasized the importance of reconciliation and solidarity, illustrating that freedom is not merely the absence of oppression, but the presence of justice and equality for all. Mandela's ability to bring together people who had once been divided is a testament to the transformative power of unity in the fight for freedom. Solidarity in the pursuit of freedom also encompasses an understanding of intersectionality. The recognition that different forms of oppression often intersect enables movements to be more inclusive and representative. For instance, the women's suffrage movement in the early 20th century eventually recognized that the fight for women's rights could not be separated from the struggles of women of color, LGBTQ individuals, and other marginalized groups. This understanding has led to the development of more comprehensive movements that address the complexities of identity and the multifaceted nature of oppression. When individuals from diverse backgrounds unite, they bring unique perspectives and experiences that enrich the movement and foster a deeper understanding of the issues at hand. Unity can serve as a source of strength and resilience during challenging times. The fight for freedom is often fraught with setbacks and obstacles, and the emotional toll can be overwhelming. However, when people come together in solidarity, they provide mutual support and encouragement, reinforcing the belief that they are not alone in their struggles. This sense of community can be incredibly empowering, fostering a shared commitment to the cause and motivating individuals to continue fighting, even when the road ahead seems daunting. In addition to emotional support, unity can lead to strategic advantages in advocacy efforts. When people pool their resources, skills, and networks, they can develop more effective campaigns that reach broader audiences. Collaborative efforts often yield innovative ideas and solutions, enabling movements to adapt to changing circumstances and navigate challenges more effectively. For example, social media has become a powerful tool for organizing and mobilizing individuals in contemporary movements. Platforms like Twitter and Facebook allow activists to share information, coordinate actions, and amplify their messages to a global audience, thereby increasing the impact of their efforts. Fostering unity in the fight for freedom requires ongoing dialogue and a commitment to inclusivity. It is essential to create spaces where diverse voices are heard and valued. This involves actively listening to the experiences and perspectives of those who may not have traditionally been represented in leadership roles within movements. Engaging in constructive conversations about differences, whether they pertain to race, gender, or socioeconomic status, can strengthen alliances and cultivate a shared sense of purpose. Unity does not imply uniformity. Recognizing and respecting differences within a movement is crucial to its success. The strength of a united front lies in its diversity. By embracing different viewpoints and strategies, movements can become more dynamic and responsive to the needs of those they aim to serve. In conclusion, unity and solidarity are indispensable in the fight for freedom. The collective strength of individuals working together can dismantle oppressive systems and pave the way for a more just society. By fostering inclusivity, understanding intersectionality, and providing mutual support, we can create powerful movements that transcend individual efforts. As we strive for freedom, let us remember that we are part of a larger tapestry woven together by our shared commitment to justice and equality. Together, we can rise against the forces that seek to divide us, creating a brighter future where freedom is not just an ideal, but a reality for all. The concept of resilience and perseverance is vital in the ongoing fight for freedom, as it embodies the unwavering spirit required to confront and overcome the numerous challenges that arise during such struggles. Throughout history, movements advocating for freedom and justice have faced formidable obstacles, yet it is the tenacity of individuals and groups that has allowed them to persist in the face of adversity. Understanding the importance of resilience enables us to appreciate the long and often arduous journey toward achieving freedom and empowers us to maintain hope even when progress seems slow. Resilience is often defined as the ability to recover from difficulties or setbacks. In the context of the fight for freedom, this means not only enduring hardships, but also learning and growing from them. Many historical movements have illustrated the essence of resilience, revealing that the path to liberation is rarely linear and often riddled with challenges. The struggle against apartheid in South Africa is a poignant example. Activists faced brutal repression from the government, imprisonment, and violence. Yet the collective resilience of the people propelled the movement forward. Leaders like Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years of imprisonment, embodied resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. His unwavering commitment to justice and equality inspired countless others to join the fight, demonstrating that resilience can serve as a powerful catalyst for change. Perseverance goes hand in hand with resilience. It is the steadfastness and determination to keep pushing forward, even when the odds seem insurmountable. The struggle for civil rights in the United States is another testament to the power of perseverance. Activists face violent opposition, systemic discrimination, and legislative hurdles. Yet they remain committed to their cause, organizing peaceful protests, marches, and boycotts. The Selma to Montgomery marches in 1965, for example, illustrated the determination of activists who faced violence and hostility, yet continued their quest for voting rights. Their courage and commitment ultimately led to the passage of the Voting Rights Act, a landmark achievement in the ongoing struggle for equality. Understanding the role of resilience and perseverance requires acknowledging that setbacks are an inherent part of any movement. Progress may be slow, and victories can often feel elusive. However, it is crucial to view these setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for growth and reflection. The history of social justice movements reveals that many of the most significant changes have come after periods of struggle and hardship. Embracing this perspective allows individuals and groups to remain motivated, focusing on the larger goal of freedom and justice, rather than getting bogged down by immediate challenges. Resilience is not solely an individual trait. It is often fostered within communities and movements. The support of others can bolster one's resolve, creating a collective sense of purpose that reinforces the commitment to the cause. Communities that cultivate resilience by encouraging open dialogue, sharing experiences, and providing emotional support can empower individuals to face adversity together. This shared experience of struggle can create strong bonds and foster a sense of solidarity that sustains the movement through difficult times. In contemporary movements for social justice, the importance of resilience and perseverance is evident. The Black Lives Matter movement, for instance, emerged in response to systemic racism and police violence. Activists have faced significant pushback, including political opposition, misinformation campaigns, and attempts to delegitimize their cause. Yet the movement has shown remarkable resilience, continuing to advocate for change and mobilizing communities across the globe. The ongoing commitment of activists who remain steadfast in their pursuit of justice highlights the enduring power of resilience in the face of adversity. Resilience also plays a crucial role in preventing burnout, which can be a significant challenge for activists. The emotional toll of fighting for freedom can lead to exhaustion and frustration, making it essential to prioritize self-care and community support. Movements that foster an environment of understanding and compassion can help individuals recharge and sustain their efforts over the long term. By recognizing the importance of mental and emotional well-being, activists can cultivate resilience that not only supports their individual journeys but also strengthens the collective effort.